What's good, everyone? Welcome back for another session and showcase. Today's video, we're going to be covering the kaioken mechanic of the STR Videl unit that just came out as the newest Dokkan Fest unit. As always, you know, it's a typical format for those that are familiar with this, but before we talk about the mechanic itself as well as the unit skill sets, I do have to point out to you guys that this is the clips and footage you're seeing right now. It was actually during my third attempt. The first attempt, my problem was I underestimated how much Videl actually stacks up the attack and, you know, the built-in additionals and whatnot. She was actually shredding Broly's HP a lot more faster than I imagined. The first attempt basically took me only up to 54 total turns. So of course, with a 99 turn limit, with the ability to continue to stack attack stats based on the super attack, that is very early on. So, you know, just to get it right, I did have to do it multiple times. And again, this is the third attempt. I felt pretty good about it, even though I wasn't fully satisfied. And I'll explain to you here in a second. But I think it's good enough from a content standpoint to just go ahead and, you know, at the time use the footage for this version. So just to break it down again, the kaioken mechanic essentially is the ability for Dokkan battle units in game to be able to continuously stack up the attack or defense, in some cases both, incrementally over time within the 99 turn limit. So with that being said, you're able to really drastically increase the overall stats for a unit based on, you know, going through turns after turns after turns of multiple super attacks in a row. And in Videl's case, she is actually very optimal for this type of testing because she does have built-in skill sets that, you know, will raise attack, but also the ability for additionals and whatnot. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and cover the unit itself. Again, this is the Super Strength type Ally of Love and Friendship Videl unit, just came out on JP. Defenders of Justice or Ally of Justice or Hero category and or Peppy Gals category key +4 HP attack and defense increase of 170%. Two variations of super attacks. One is the super attack, which will raise attack and defense for one turn and causes immense damage to enemies. So just to clarify, will raise attack, so you have the ability to stack the attack, but the ability to raise defense is only for one turn, along with causing immense damage to enemy. The unit does have a unit super attack, so this is where more so the focus has been on for this showcase. Greatly raises attack, raises defense for one turn, and then causes immense damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. So again, because of the greatly raised attack ability versus the normal raised attack, you know, it's much more better to, you know, basically use the unit super attack, because we're talking about a 20% in difference between just simply raising an attack, which is the equivalent of 30%, versus greatly raised attack, which is equal to 50% within the 99 turn limit. So obviously, to maximize the testing environment, so to speak, we had to go with the unit super attack. And the way to activate that is essentially you just need an ally whose name includes Teen Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, or Great Saiyaman. So in this case, I did link up the Videl unit with the Great Saiyaman the whole time. Obviously, this guy has the ability to stack up the attack as well. So you'll see some incremental increases, not quite to the level of Videl, but you will see his attack stats increase as well. Now, Videl's passive skill is an attack and defense increase of 158%, high chance of evading enemies' attack including supers until the character attacks, plus an additional attack increase of 58% when attacking, and then attacks effective against all types within the same turn after evading an attack, plus an additional attack increase of 58% within the same turn after receiving an attack, and then launches additional supers as the first or second attacker in the turn, plus an additional attack increase of 58%, and a high chance of evading enemy supers as the third attacker in the turn. Just for the exercise of this particular video, she majority of the time was in the first slot in order to activate that additional 58% upon receiving an attack. Obviously, that kind of varies because of the built-in evasion ability that she's got as well, but again, just to maximize as much as possible in terms of like boosting up the overall attack stats. That's pretty much the format with that. I did reserve the active skill until the very end, that, you know, until a point that I knew I wanted to activate it, because you're looking at an extra 20% toward attack. You do get a defense minus 20% during battle once you know, use the active skill, but similar concept to the passive. In order to activate this, you simply need an ally whose name includes Teen Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, or Great Saiyaman, and you can activate this starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. So again, a lot of good jam-packed information for this unit. I knew this unit would be good given how, you know, she was somewhat unpopular from a character standpoint, so they had to make it up somehow, right? So I wasn't necessarily surprised that she was good. I was more so surprised how good she actually was, I guess to simply put, you know. From a team building standpoint, you know, Great Saiyaman obviously provides a boost to Majin Buu Saga category allies, but on top of that, I mean, the only real link that Videl shares with him is the Fierce Battle link, and I threw in, you know, supporting floaters as well to further boost it up, but it really does prove the point that you don't necessarily need a really good link set for this unit in order to perform very well. Like, the variation of other teams that I've used to test Videl out is, you know, for instance, I would pair her up with the Strength type Android 18 from the Bio Broly movie that Easy 8 pretty recently, and both those units lined up, they performed pretty well. Obviously, with 18, you got to include a certain type of unit. I think it was, you know, the Goten Kid Trunks and or the Krillin unit in order to activate the boost to allies, as well as the damage reduction and also the crit chance increase, I think. So yeah, I mean, there's variations to go about how to team build with this unit, but, you know, at the end of the day, this unit is very self-sufficient and performs very well. I think the only thing that hurts her really is the limitation of categories. So if you think about it, you've got Peppy Gals, Majin Buu Saga, Earthlings, Defender of Justice. Now, the, you know, Defenders of Justice is, you know, the category in itself is somewhat okay. It's not the best categories out there, but you can certainly build pretty good teams out of it. Earthlings, you could certainly, you know, they could certainly use some extra help in terms of like the unit versatility and options. Majin Buu Saga is obviously, out of the 4 categories, the best one to build around teams. Obviously, it includes a lot of very good units. So, you know, the combination of Majin Buu Saga as well as the Battle Wits, you know, with the LR Super Vegito leaders, you know, they can provide some very good team building options. Peppy Gals, you know, of course, you can build some very solid teams now too. So, you know, within the given category that's available for her, I guess outside of Earthlings, you know, all those are pretty decent from a team building standpoint, so it's not too terrible. But, you know, I think more so it would have been nice to have some additional categories for her, but I guess that's kind of the point, right, is limit the category options but make the unit very good. So maybe that's the mentality they went into in terms of like building the unit itself. So I think overall, from a self-sufficiency standpoint, the unit's very good. Again, I've only tested her in, you know, a small pool of different scenarios, but I think over time, you know, you're going to realize how good this unit is, and very beneficial to have. So I got pretty lucky, and I forgot to mention this. I actually did get very lucky with the banner. I spent only 250 stones, and I ended up pulling 2 copies of Videl along with some other couple of units. But yeah, it was light work, and certainly appreciate that after going 1,200 stones on the Broly banner without pulling a single copy of Broly. So, you know, so up and down motions with the summoning, and that's just really the nature of the gacha system. So, you know, without going off too much on a tangent, let's get back into the conversation about Videl. So I did bring in quite a few items, and I saved it against, you know, the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly, but in this case, you're going to be able to see that the physical type Broly enemy that has literally very little HP left, and I don't even know what the turn count is. I think it's, at this point, it was less than 70, maybe like 68 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, Broly didn't even survive up to 99 turns, so that should suggest to you how powerful this unit actually is. I've done numerous testing with a variety of units, and some of them were able to shred HP pretty quickly, but I don't think not to this level where I actually had to apply like handicaps. I wanted to bring in units like, for example, Tech Buddha and a couple of others, but they also did stack, you know, the attack ability based on every super attack, so that actually hurt the chances of extending the turns even more. So I really did have to go through a variety of alternative options in terms of, you know, just making sure Broly would survive as long as possible. So it's a good problem to have, but it did make things a little bit more difficult this time. Now, we did use the active skill here because, again, I wanted to get that extra attack increase of 20% at the very end. I didn't want to use it, like, you know, mid-battle while we were still building up, so to speak. And, you know, we've got the future Bulma item that increases attack by 25%. The Bulma item here also does provide a 25% boost. This one provides attack and defense increase of 20%. And I brought in the Lemo orb changing item to get, you know, an extra 5% for every red key sphere obtained. So we're just trying to maximize at this point the attack stat overall boost. So I think it's around 41 million at this point, so pretty extensive. That's before, you know, she gets attacked or even the super attack activates. She'll have, you know, a variety of combinations of 58% further boost to activate here, so you're going to see the numbers creep up quite a bit. And I think that was like, I don't know, 108 million in attack stats, something like that. So pretty powerful unit. So this is pretty much the Kaioken mechanic showcase of the STR Videl. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.